Hi, I'm Rob Elsner. I'm chair of psychology and neuroscience at Samford University and one of the co-chairs of the research committee for the Athlete Mental Health Alliance.
And I'm Justin Morales. I'm a fourth year psychiatry resident at NYU, finishing my residency program here. And I'm also one of the co-chairs of the research committee.
So the research committee for the past couple of years has been an integral arm in helping collect research to feed through to the legislative committee to help inform where legislative priorities should be and how to help pass those laws by gaining enough information so that there is a compelling reason for those laws to go through.
And our hope going forward is that we can continue to expand the research that has been done on our own front, as well as try to inform both clinicians and those that work with athletes about up and coming information to ensure that all athletes are getting appropriate care. One thing that, we have learned in this process is looking at how there's been an increase in synthetic cannabinoids as well as stimulant use in athletes, which is something that we'll hope to discuss across this Athletes Mental Health Week.
It starts out with certain issues that people may not have much interest in, they don't care about much, but are incredibly important because part of what Athletes for Hope and Athlete Mental Health Alliance are revolving around is making sure that we, in fact, with the name, have hope, that people don't escalate to worse psychiatric conditions, uh, the worst of them being things like suicide. And we have an obligation to prevent that escalation and that loss of hope that sometimes embraces people in the worst situations, especially as we transition from being an athlete to being a former athlete or a retired athlete or an injured athlete who can't come back in the way that had made us special as athletes.
Yes. So please consider reaching out and potentially collaborating with us. If you have resources, we would totally love to keep that so that we can distribute it. And also, if you have ideas or questions of things that you would like to know, we can try to use our resources to either find that information or potentially create surveys and other research initiatives to hopefully get you an answer. So thank you for your time and consideration.
We appreciate it very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Kaitlyn Lyle, and I am one of the co-chairs of the Athlete Advisory Committee with Athletes for Hope. My co-chair is Anna Hodge, and we are so happy to be here with you and explain a little bit more about what this committee is all about. So essentially, our focus in the Athlete Advisory Committee is on destigmatizing mental health by creating spaces where athletes can simply just be free from judgment, expectations, and pressure ultimately. We aim to challenge the negative thought patterns that have been conditioned in our minds that we have to be perfect all the time and that we believe that our worth is tied to our accolades. So our goal is to destigmatize that and kind of unwire and unpack these things that we've been taught our whole lives. Instead, we learn to celebrate athletes for being human and their worth as inherent human beings. And it's essentially about, having athletes thrive not only on the field, but beyond the field as people. And so at the core of our committee, we aim to destigmatize mental health by elevating the athlete's voice, whether that's through sharing stories or being a part of a podcast, just any ways that we can connect with each other and open up new dialogues about different intersections within athlete mental health and mental health in general. So what we've done so far is many things, but we collaborate with the research committee and the legislative committee as well to create, edit, review legislation aimed at better protecting athletes and preventing mental health in the future for athletes. We also use practical tools with amazing psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists to come up with better ways to support athletes and, utilizing experts in their fields to better support athletes on and off the field to increase performance just in life. We've also only been a committee for a short year, but we've accomplished so many things, including we started our own podcast. It's called Whole Being Athlete Talks, and we've posted 3 seasons, which is amazing. And we've been able to connect with guests from all around the world, from all different levels of sports, whether it's Paralympic, Olympic, high school, collegiate, you name it. We welcome everybody on our podcast, and it's amazing to hear stories from other perspectives and just learning so much from people all around the world. We also host monthly mental health check-ins, an open space for athletes to share, their struggles and relate and offer advice. And it's truly a very healing place, an amazing, amazing space to have anyone. And we also host live discussions, panels, movements, any way that we can utilize our voice to advocate for positive change. It's the community for that. And we also play a vital role in reviewing and supporting legislative movements to create real, tangible change. And it's amazing to see all the change that we've done contributing with the legislative committee and the research committee as a whole. So overall, in all of this, we're essentially aiming to humanize athletes and create a future where every athlete feels like they belong and that they have a purpose more than just their sport. And what I love about this committee is that it's an open space for everyone, and we're super grateful for the diversity that we have within our group. No matter where you're from, which identities you hold, or whether you're a retired athlete, a current athlete, collegiate athlete, Olympic, Paralympic, you name it, we have a spot for you, and we are open to everybody and hearing everybody's story. Sharing stories, storytelling is so important to, start the conversation, start the dialogue, because it's hard to destigmatize something when it's not talked about at all. So I'm super proud of this committee, and I love what we're doing. And in the end, we really just want to inspire other athletes to step up, speak up, or just use their stories to better the world and understand that we can make a positive change together. And if people don't want to speak up, that's also amazing. Just being a part of this community, listening and using tools from other people and experts is an amazing place to start. So that's a little bit about the Athlete Advisory Committee, and we hope that you learn a lot this week, and we hope that maybe you can join us on our team.
Hi, my name is Doria Josma, and I serve as the Legislative Advisory Committee Chair for Athletes for Hope Athlete Mental Health Alliance. My background in advocacy, policy, and social impact has driven my commitment to athlete mental health. I stepped into this role because I've seen firsthand how mental health challenges impact athletes at all levels. Whether through personal experience, research, or advocacy, I understand the need for stronger policies that prioritize well-being and breaking down the stigma of mental illness. Our committee focuses on researching legislation, applying mental health research, and advocating for policy change to protect athletes in high school, college, and professional sports. We aim to unite the sports community, raise awareness, and push for systemic changes that prioritize mental health. We need athletes, allies, and organizations to support this work. You can get involved by supporting AMHA via attending events, whether in person or virtually, advocating for policy change, and following our updates. Together, we can create a sports culture that prioritizes mental well-being. Thank you.